Speaking of things going theatrical, let's talk about Knives Out 3, starring Daniel Craig, Josh O'Connor, that incredible cast, and directed by Rian Johnson. Knives Out 3, or Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, is, of course, coming to Netflix. And let's kind of dive into some things really quick. Let's set the stage. Knives Out 2, well, let's go back further. After Knives Out 1, Rian Johnson made an incredible deal with Netflix to do Knives Out 2 and 3 for something like $300 million or something. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy money. Of course he did it. And as part of that, he was kind of supposed to, or at least was on the table of getting theatrical releases. Knives Out 2, or A Glass Onion, infamously got, was it a 1 week or a 2 week theatrical release? I think it was 1 week.
I believe it was 1 week before like Thanksgiving or something.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Got a theatrical release, and it made really decent money for that 1 week. A lot of people went to go see it. Netflix left so much money on the table by pulling it early. Well, Rian Johnson, while he got his 1 week theatrical, he wasn't thrilled that it wasn't there the whole time, and it kind of became a whole thing. But now, Greta Gerwig's making an Narnia movie that we've been extensively covering, and that movie's getting a 2 week IMAX release. So Netflix is starting to get more serious about when people want theatrical, and Rian Johnson's no different. However, recently the Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos said probably the dumbest shit I've ever heard, where he called movie theaters like an outdated concept and that people just don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to go. Bullshit. But here's what Rian Johnson had to say about it in a recent interview with, I believe, Business Insider. I want this in as many theaters for as long as possible. We're going to push for everything we can to get this in terms of theatrical because I want as many people as possible to see it in that form. Fuck yes, Rian Johnson. That's what we want. It's exactly what we want. By the way, I highly encourage everyone to go look at the comments that Ted Sarandos made. Clearly, he's a smart dude because he runs Netflix and they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. But he, of course, as his brand, is like, oh, we don't need movie theaters. Like, for some reason, he's taking that stance. I honestly feel like Netflix could take the stance of, like, we could partner with movie theaters and be the streaming service that they rely on whenever their movies need that additional, money making, like if it doesn't do well or whatever. Like, I feel like there's a whole different strategy that they could take, but instead their whole thing is wanting to end movie theaters so they can run the world. Fucking upsets me. But I want to see Knives Out 3 in theaters. I want to see it in theaters really badly. I loved seeing Glass Onion in theaters. It was a great theatrical experience. The audience was eating it up. I love that film. And Rian Johnson is clearly a great filmmaker who's capable of making great theatrical experiences. And he clearly designed this movie to do that. Now, granted, I don't think he's upset about that Netflix money there, Nicholas. I wouldn't be upset about it either. But I think this should go theatrical. I think the success of Glass Onion in its 1 week showed that it should go theatrical, and I think it should be longer. But I'm going to throw it over to you. What do you think should happen with Knives Out 3?
I mean, obviously, I want to see everything in theaters, especially Subversion.
Fuck
But
yes.
I think I was very fortunate enough to be able to go see Glass Onion, which I was very happy about to watch that in theaters. I've watched it several times on Netflix after, and as it's been confirmed by several things, including Glass Out, when you release a movie in theaters, it always overperforms when it hits streaming finally.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I don't blame Ryan Johnson for taking the Netflix money, right? I would too, probably. He is a director with a clear vision and a large scope for where he wanted to take this franchise. And if Netflix is the one that allowed him to do that, that's very enticing for a filmmaker. And I'm sure that that's something he knew going in, that theatrical was a very strong uphill battle. But I think as Netflix has been sort of dishing out these theatrical releases, especially with Greta Gerwig, I think it's giving him a lot more ammo and a lot more fuel to request that. I do think that he gave a great response, very nuanced response. I thought he handled the questions very well about it, and just saying that he wants to talk to Ted Sarandos about it. It is a lot better than Daniel Craig's response to Ted Sarandos when he just said, "Your model's fucked." So, I appreciate Ryan Johnson taking a step back on that and looking at it a big picture, but it's something that I hope to see. Now, is he confirmed? What is he confirmed for? Glass Onion in this one, and then he's
Yeah,
free in
then
the
he's done.
clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then he can go with Knives Out 4 anywhere else he wishes.
Yeah, if he wants to
Well,
make a
that's
Knives
good.
Out 4.
If he wants to make Knives Out 4, which, I mean, if depending on the success of 3 and everything, I don't see why he would stop, every few years. get one out as long as Daniel Craig still wants to do them, I guess.
Oh,
But
100%.
I think it'd be great to see, and I wonder if moving forward, if Netflix needs to be playing into that as well, right? If they want Knives Out 4, maybe that's on the negotiating table. Like, oh, we will promise you a wider theatrical release for 3, and also a wide theatrical release for 4. But 4 is with us still. I think that's something to definitely put into consideration.
And I bet you if the IMAX release of Narnia knocks it out of the fucking park, easy. It's going in theaters. Easy.
Yep, I agree. We'll see though. I mean, hopefully, if the Agatha Christie movies that Kenneth Branagh keep making money at the box office, I don't know why. I don't know why they wouldn't want the same thing with Daniel Craig.
I would mortgage my house for a crossover of those franchises.
I just want to know who gets the Muppets first. And while I think Rian Johnson could do it so much better, I kind of want it to go to Kenneth Branagh.
Me too.
I just feel like it'd be a lot more entertaining.
Rian Johnson directing Kenneth Branagh on the Muppets. That would be fantastic.
No, listen, it's a great series. It's a great franchise, and I think if Netflix wants to start tailoring that relationship with their creatives and have that sort of working relationship with it, I think it's something definitely they need to be more open to exploring. Because I bet theaters want them just as bad as Netflix wants people watching it on their platform.
No, 100%.
So I don't know why Netflix doesn't also start like maybe just dishing out some money here and there to help produce a movie. That like another, like a co-production almost, but they just get the exclusive streaming rights.
Again, working with theaters, I think that's such a good idea. I don't know why they don't do it either.
Whatever studio, Netflix, I will give you an additional $10 million toward your movie's budget, but we get it.
Yeah, and they have so many resources. You could even say if you're Netflix, you could literally say, we're going to co-produce this movie, we get exclusive streaming rights, and we'll fully pay to make the movie. However, all the money that the movie makes, we first have to recuperate our budget. Then anything after that is profit to you.
Yeah.
Like, I think you could demand all of that if you're Netflix, honestly. But there are Louis Cav has a couple things in the live chat that I want to point out because he brings up some good points. One, he says, let me pull it up on the screen here. I feel like with how popular the first 2 were, it shouldn't have any problem with demand in theaters. You would think, but we're still talking about Netflix. We're still talking about Netflix, who doesn't even promote their own originals.
The demand is there, but Netflix does not want to supply.
Exactly. He also adds, yes, make Daniel Craig do this till he's 90. Till he's 90. Absolutely.
I feel like I believe he will, though, too, honestly.
Yeah, I think he has fun. And this last comment he left, this is one of the best ideas I've ever heard. Like the mock movies at the end of 22 Jump Street. Just do that for real with Daniel Craig and Knives Out Mysteries. Yes.
That's where the Muppets comes in.
That's where the Muppets come in. That's where everything comes in. I want to see that. I would help finance it, and I don't have any money. So that's where we are. And just my last comment, I know that I shit a lot on Netflix and everything. Let me just say, as an indie filmmaker, if Netflix bought one of my films, I would be so over the moon excited about that, right? What an accomplishment. Especially if it was a series. Oh, I'd love to have a series on Netflix. But at the same time, what they are doing to like the movie industry, what they're trying to do, they're failing. What they're trying to do in the movie industry is just really annoying. And here's what I would challenge Ted Sarandos. Take your top 5 most performing movies. Originals, by the way. Because I bet you the top 5 movies aren't originals. Take your top 5 most original performing movies. Name 3 characters from each movie. I bet you can't. I bet you can't because no one cares. They don't have a lasting effect because they don't hit the pop cultural zeitgeist very rarely to where that can happen. You know the only character's name I can think of right now? Tyler Rake from Extraction. It's because that name is cool as fuck. It's the only name I can think of an original Netflix movie. Tyler Rake. It is a cool name.
According to Netflix's website, and to Dumb, the top 10 most popular movies that are Netflix originals are Red Notice is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is global all-time ranking. Red Notice, Carry On, and Don't Look Up.
Can you name a single character from one of those movies?
Jason Bateman.
Yes, that was what an amazing character's name.
The Rock.
The Rock, yes, exactly.
Don't look up, but I mean, even if you go through the 10, Adam Project, Bird Box, Back in Action, Leave the World Behind, The Gray Man, Damsel, and We Can Be Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
No idea. Also, I would just like to point out real quick as well. So it has the views. Red Notice is number 1 with 230, almost 231 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2's Carry On with 172.
That's a hell of a lead.
That's a significant jump. I
Red
don't
Notice
like
dominating.
I don't like Red Notice, but good for them.
Good for them.
But no,
indeed.
but that's crazy. Yeah, I could not name a single character of it. But like but they've hit it. You know, House of Cards was a Netflix original series. Not to bring up Kevin Spacey, but then Stranger Things. I mean, their series crush it when they are able to hit the pop culture zeitgeist. They crush it every time. They just can't get to that.
Let me give Netflix their flowers. Their shows, as you mentioned, they hit the pop cultural zeitgeist all the time. Their team that's responsible for going to film festivals and buying potential awards contenders fucking rules. I know a lot of people give Emilia Perez a lot of shit, which fair, but those films that they've gotten in the past, like films like Roma, The Irishman, like insane grabs. Like they're great at doing that. And, you know, that's something to be worth noting. They have a really good team that goes out to buy films at festivals.
They can tell when someone else's movie is really good, but they can't make a good one their own.
You said it, not me. Guys, what do you think about... I don't even remember what fucking story we were talking about. Oh, Knives Out. What do you think about Knives Out 3? Do you think it should go into theaters? Let us know as we move on to our next story.